Huff, puff, puff. I ran and made it to the school gates. She was holding her bag. It seemed like she was trying to leave early, so I went to cut her off. However, I can't deny the possibility that her lunch is in the bag. Maybe I got the wrong idea. If that's not it, then what could be the problem? I watched over the school gates like some guardian statue. And I got punched. I was crashed into by someone in the back. In other words, from outside the school gates. Arg! A mystery woman. Whoa! Ouch, what was that? I must have been hit by like a truck. I got up and felt like I was crawling out from under an avalanche. Then I saw a big cardboard box and a girl that had fallen over. Are you okay? Daijobu. The angel has come down to me. I'm sorry, but I couldn't see ahead of me because this box I was carrying. No, it was my fault for standing in your way. Make sure to bow. I need to make sure I bow. I looked at her as I got up, and without thinking, I thought I was going to say, the super repeat student, but I held my tongue. Good. Good. How about you? You're not hurt, are you? I'm alright. Yes, very good. Can I give you a hug? As she says that, the super repeating super senior holds onto the big cardboard box. Carry it for her! Do it. Do it. Well, I got something you can eat. She went to lift it up, but then the senior Amane slumped down, exhausted. Due to an empty stomach, my short-term performance has been significantly reduced. Well, get on your knees. I'll help you carry it, huh? It's so heavy. The big cardboard box is incredibly heavy. Thank you. No, please allow me. Allow me to help you out. It's the only thing I can do. See, it's no big deal. I said as I went to pick it up anyways. Oh, she has such a nice voice. Is this okay here? I don't know what's in it, but we put the heavy cardboard box on the floor. Sorry about that, thanks for helping. Anytime, I will be your slave. It's alright. Anyway, senior, if you're hungry... She was staring towards the inside of the garage. Senior? I guess I should be saying senpai. I find myself copying her and looking at the same direction. Inside. Well, hello! Look what the cat dragged in. It was Katori. What's she doing here? She's by the big thing placed in the center of the garage, and is trying to lift up the sheet to see what's underneath. Well, it's obviously a plane. Are you interested in that? Wait, did Amane make that? Katori is surprised when Amane speaks to her. Gulp. Katori seems intimidated and nods. Amane vigorously pulls back the sheet. Inside was a white streamlined aircraft. Oh my god, I had no idea! What? How could that thing be hiding under that sheet? I thought it was a dog. Katori looked at it, dazed. I say, as I let a small, surprised sound slip out. Could this be a glider? Wait, was Amane flying that glider? That'd be pretty insane. Amane nodded, and Katori cautiously moved her head closer to the aircraft. Even in the dimly lit garage, the glider's white body had a glossy shine to it and faintly reflected Katori's face. I moved towards it to take a closer look. Is this the one we saw from Windmill Hill? It could be. The smooth surface looks like it was made from plastic. However, it's hard to the touch. The wings had been removed, and for now, it was just the body. So this is what the cockpit's like. This is amazing. That is pretty cool how they have that. Yeah. I like that noise. We started talking to each other at some point, but then finally realized who it was we were talking to. Hey you, why are you running away just now? She calmly ignores my question, but then hurriedly tries to escape, so I go ahead and block her. You won't get away! Not this time. Katya! Why did you come here? You're not here to eat lunch. Why did you come here for? You're not here to eat lunch, are you? There was some mean guy guarding the school gate, so I came to hide in here. She really was trying to leave early. Do you know her? Nope. Obviously not. Amane was listening carefully to our conversation. The voice of an angel right there. Holy shit. If you want something else that tastes good, call me up anytime. Amane was wolfing down a Neapolitan pasta lunchbox, and Cuthbert and I both had a face that seemed like to say, whoa, and looked on in amazement. Why would we say, whoa? Well, to see such a beautiful girl do something like that, I feel really disappointed. Oh? She didn't know that when she was eating ice cream like a crazy idiot, I had the same reaction when I was watching her. By the way, the thing that Amane was eating was the lunchbox that I had brought. As usual, the boarders hadn't eaten the breakfast I had made for them, so I packed it as my lunch. I had made 2 lunchboxes. One was for me, and for the other one, I thought that if Katori was going to go to school, she might have found it difficult at lunchtime, so I was worried about her and brought another lunchbox. That's why I was chasing her. If she didn't need it, I thought that I might eat both of them for myself. But then she ran away before I could ask her. You can eat it whenever you like. You don't even need to ask. I'll give it to you. Just take it. I've already eaten my one. I was hungry during my morning recess, so I had lunch early. Relieved to hear my answer, Amane continues to enjoy the cold Neapolitan pasta. Wow, woo! This is delicious. It's been a while since I had proper food like this. Why? I'm kinda concerned for Amane. Why is that? Didn't you have anything to eat after I saw you yesterday? I only gave her 1 piece of bread. Amane stopped moving her chopsticks and took a good look at my face. I'm already been forgotten. Oh. That was a terrible first impression yesterday then. My life is ruined. You've only just realized? Well, I was concentrating on something yesterday. She really is weird. Oh, I see. So this is the second time you've saved me. Why is she using saved? She looked at me with eyes that sparkled like a little kid's. Well, it was worth it. If she were a dog, her tail would definitely be wagging like crazy. I received that bread from you approximately 20 hours ago. Prior to that, the last meal I had eaten was roughly 70 hours earlier. Girl, Amane. What is wrong? I can help you. I counted on my fingers to 70. If there are 24 hours in a day, what does that mean? That's 3 days ago. Oh my god. Math. I went to Taioken and ate pork ramen with all the toppings. The soup was rich and delicious. She recalls this and her face looks like she was about to start drooling. But she couldn't remember me. Oh, this is a rough day. Why don't you eat? Are you on a diet? You forgot to eat for 3 days. That's impressive.
ると他のことをよく忘れるんだ。私はバカだからな。
When I'm thinking about something, I forget about everything else. That's because I'm stupid. Well, you can start focusing on me, because I'm here. Amane replied with pride. I'd prefer it if she didn't compare it to when people forget things because they're hungry.
ここでグライダーを作っているんですか？
Are you building this glider?
ああ、
So she is. Are you doing that here?
ソアリング部の部室兼ガレージだが。
They had a soaring club? Well, I guess I know what club I'm joining. I wasn't familiar with that name. What's soaring?
上昇気流に乗ってグライダーで飛ぶことをソアリングと言うんだ。
Soaring is to fly a glider by riding the rising air currents. Flying a glider by riding the rising air currents. I kind of get it, but on the other hand, I don't get it, because I'm an idiot. So the aim of the club is to make and fly a glider?
そういうことになるな。
Well, yeah, that's right. So this garage is used for club activities after all. Even so, it's pretty spacious.
グライダーって飛行機みたいなものなんでしょ？自分で作れるものなの？
A glider is like an airplane, isn't it? Is it something that you can make by yourself?
ああ、作れるさ。それが人工物である以上、人に作れないものはないはずだが。
Yeah, I could make it. Because it's a man-made object, there's no reason why you can't make it, right? It's hard to argue with that logic. I have a feeling that's not what she's asking. However, Amane answered the question in all
どうやって
seriousness.
作るの？
How did you make it?
そうだな。それを説明するなら実際に作ってみた方が早い。
Do you just have the materials lying around to do that? And how is it quicker than what? Hold on a moment, I said as Amane slurped up the last of the Neapolitan with extremely bad manners. Wiping round her mouth with a tissue, she started rummaging through a desk drawer.
と、あれはどこに行ったかな。
Where did that thing go? Peeking inside the drawer, somehow I got the impression that Amane is a typical disorganized person. Rather than things being put away, it was more like they were stuffed in.
あったあった。これだ。
Oh, here it is. This is it. The thing that Amane had taken out was a paper airplane construction kit, made using cardboard. Interesting.
さあ、作ってみてくれ。
Okay, try to make one. This is gonna fail. Without thinking, Guthrie and I looked at each other. This is not gonna work at all. I feel that manufacturing a glider and making a paper airplane are completely different things. But for now, I'll try doing as she says. Using glue and a craft knife, in about 10 minutes, we had finished the paper plane.
できたわ。
Finished in record time. All done. Amane takes the plane that Katori had made and takes a good look. Then she threw it. The paper airplane floated gently as it flew and landed near the wall on the other side of the garage.
綺麗にまっすぐ飛んだ。いい機体だ。
It flew straight forward very nicely. It's a good plane. I have a feeling Katori's dream is to fly. Katori seems embarrassed at being complimented.
飛行機にはいろんな種類がある。ジャンボジェットや小型セスナ、戦闘機。
There are many types of airplane. There are jumbo jets, small Cessnas, fighter planes.
そして今投げた紙飛行機。
Then there are paper airplanes like the one you just threw.
それらはみんな同じ原理で飛ぶんだ。
But all of them fly based on the same principle. Magic. Paper airplanes and jumbo jets are the same?
原理は同じ。翼を使って空気に浮かび飛行する。
Yes, the principles are the same, using their wings to float on the air in order to fly. Cuthbert and I both tilted our heads in puzzlement. How did they think the airplanes flew? Magic? What? We both had a skeptical look on our faces. I can understand that a light paper airplane can fly by riding the wind, but it's hard to imagine that a giant hunk of metal can float in the sky at the same principle. There must be some other method that allows it to fly. Amane goes to pick up the paper airplane that she had just thrown.
これをよく見てほしい。君たちが知っている飛行機とこの紙飛行機。
I'd like you
違
to
いはどこにある？
I'd like you to take a good look. Can the two of you see what the difference is between this airplane and the bigger one? The size and the
人が
material?
乗るかどうかも違うわ。
Also, whether or not people ride in it.
そうだな。あとはエンジンがあるかないかくらいか。
That's right. Then there is whether or not this has an
言え
engine.
ばその他は同じだ。そこに飛行の原理がある。
On the other hand, everything is the same. Here we have the principles of flight.
一般的な飛行機はだいたいこれと同じパーツからできている。
Regular airplanes are made from mostly the same parts as this.
まずは胴体。
First, there's the body.
次に主翼。
Next are the main wings,
水平尾翼。
the horizontal tailplane,
垂直尾翼。
the vertical tailplane,
多少突飛な形状をした飛行機でもだいたい同じパーツかあるいは同じ役割をする別のパーツによって構成されている。
There are a few airplanes that have a somewhat quirky shape, but even in those cases, they still have mostly the same parts, or other parts that fulfill a similar role. When she puts it like that, I guess she's right. I've never paid that much attention to it though.
ところで飛行機がなぜ空気に浮くのか知っているかい？
By the way, do you know how an airplane floats in the air?
揚力があるからよ。
Because it has
そう
lift.
だ。揚力とは流体の中にある翼に働く力のうち流れの方向に対して垂直な成分のことを言う。
That's right. Like the force of a fluid moving over a wing, lift is said to be the vertical component in accordance with the direction of flow. I looked baffled again, and Amane smiles a little and rephrases it.
つまり空気が翼を浮き上がらせようとする力のことだ。
In other words, it's the force that makes the wings float up on the air.
揚力はここ主翼によって生み出される。
Lift is created here, on the main wings.
翼に前から風が当たると空気は翼の上と下に分かれて流れていくことになる。
When air hits the wings from the front, the air flow divides, going over and under the wings. I can just imagine the wings cutting the air like a blade.
この時翼の上側と下側で気流の速度に差が生じると流れの速い側の圧力が下がるんだ。
At that time, there's a difference in the speed of the airflow above and below the wing, and the pressure drops on the side that has the faster
エネル
airflow.
の定理ね。
That's Bernoulli's theorem. Exactly. I knew that too. Don't forget about me, I knew that too. Standing beside her, I'm a little freaked out as she so easily comes out with the word like Bernoulli. What the hell is this about?
授業で習ったでしょ？
We were taught that in class, right? We didn't learn that at my school. Maybe.
だから飛行機の翼は上面の空気が速く流れるよう設計されている。上面側の圧力を下げるためだ。
That's why the airplane's wings are designed so that the air flows faster on the upper side. This is in order to lower the pressure on the upper side.
そうすることで相対的に下面の圧力が高まり空気が翼を持ち上げようとするんだ。
By doing this, the pressure on the lower side is higher in comparison, and then the air lifts the wings up. The air lift the wings up? It's a phenomenon that's hard to suddenly imagine. So that's Bernoulli's theorem? Amane nodded as if to say yes.
それともう一つ、翼の上面を流れた空気は翼面によって下へ曲げられ後方に吹き下ろしを生じさせる。
There's one more thing. The air flowing over the top of the wing bends downwards because of the wing's surface, causing downforce behind it. As she explains, Amane is drawing a cross-section of a wing. According to that, an airplane's wings are flat at the bottom, and the top is shaped like a mountain, so it seems like a semicircular. Apparently, the air on the upper side flows along the raised curved surface and then bends to float downward. As for the question of why air flows along the raised surface, it can only be said that this was because of the nature of the air. Or so it would seem.
この吹き下ろしはニュートンの第三法則によって同じだけの反作用を翼に与え上方に持ち上げようとする。
This downforce, according to Newton's third law, causes the same reaction on the wing, which lifts it in an upward direction. The reaction lifts up the wing?
重たいバスケットボールを地面に叩きつけようとしたら体がふわーっと浮く感じがするでしょ？
When a heavy basketball hits the ground, doesn't it seem that it's floating
それ
weightlessly?
と同じことよ。
It's the same as that. Does this mean that when the wing drops in the air, the reaction causes it to float.
それら揚力が
It's falling with
機体
style.
の重量を上回った時、飛行機は空を飛ぶことができる。
So when the lift exceeds the weight of the airplane can fly through the
た
air.
とえそれが総重量数百トンに及ぶジャンボ旅客機でもね。
For example, it's the same for a jumbo passenger airplane with a total weight of several hundred tons. Theoretically, that may be so, but I still couldn't imagine how enough lift to cause several hundred-ton airplane to take off could be created. However, airplanes do actually fly in the
揚
sky.
力を生み出してくれるこの主翼は飛行機が空に浮かぶために必要なパーツというわけだ。
The main wings that create the lift are the parts that are necessary to make the airplane fly in the sky. I don't know if I understand it or not. Same here. I was not expecting to get a lesson on airplanes today, and I forgot everything. However, I understood that the main wings are the most important part.
次に尾翼だが、
Oh, it's not over!
と水平と2つある。
Next are the tailplanes, of which there are two types, vertical and horizontal. Oh
こ
my
れら
god.
は空中で機体の姿勢を安定させるためについている。
These are added to stabilize the position of the airplane when in
飛
midair.
行機は空中に浮いているから、地面に立つ我々よりもいつだって不安定なんだ。
An airplane floats in midair, which is much more unstable than we humans are when standing on the ground.
まっすぐ上を向いてるのが垂直尾翼。横方向の動きを安定させる。
The one going straight up is the vertical tailplane. This stabilizes lateral movement. Okay, that's pretty
主翼と
self-explanatory.
同じ向きに横に伸びているのが水平尾翼。
The ones extending out sideways, the same as the main wings, are the horizontal
こっ
tailplanes.
ちは縦の動き。つまり頭の上げ下げを安定させてくれる。
These move vertically, in other words, stabilizing the up and down movements of the
こ
nose.
れがないと紙飛行機もまっすぐには飛んでくれない。
Without this, even a paper airplane won't fly straight. I see, so that's why they have small wings on the tail.
そしてボディ。
Then, there's the body.
ここは飛ぶこととは直接関係がないな。
This doesn't have a direct relationship to flight. But if you don't have this, there's nowhere to attach the wings.
以上が飛行機の基本形。
And that's the basic form of an airplane. Oh, please tell me that's not on the test. I'm gonna fail. I wasn't taking
こ
notes.
れはずーっと昔、ライト兄弟の時代から変わらない。
That hasn't changed since a long time ago, since the era of the Wright brothers. Since that long ago? But the Wright brothers were the first people in the world to fly a plane, right? So nothing has changed since the very first one was made.
ライト兄弟は動力を積んだ飛行機で飛んだ最初の人たちだ。グライダーはそれ以前から飛んでいたぞ。
The Wright brothers were the first to fly using powered flights. Gliders were being flown even before that. Yeah, I guess so. I always thought that the Wright brothers were the first to
翼
fly.
の役割を知りたければ、この紙飛行機で試してみるといい。
If you know the role of the wings, you should try it on this paper
例え
airplane.
ば、そうだな。垂直尾翼を少し曲げて、
For example, if you were to bend the vertical tailplane a little like this, don't do it, you're gonna kill everyone, no! Everyone's gonna die! The plane that Amane threw curved gently as it
さら
flew.
に主翼のここの部分を少し曲げれば、
Also, if you curved this part of the main wing a little, she bent the left and right wing so that they twisted at the back. This time the plane twisted as it flew. Hey, that's pretty interesting. Seeing this, Katori started to adjust the tailplane on her own paper airplane. This thing is going straight into the ground. Full of confidence, Katori threw her paper airplane. Whoa.
ほう
It did a beautiful loop-the-loop before landing. That's cool, it did a loop-the-loop.
面白いこの紙飛行機。
This paper airplane is really interesting. Katori and I both got really engrossed in adjusting the wings and playing around. Sometimes the paper airplanes displayed some mid-air acrobatics, and other times they didn't fly at all and crashed into the ground. However, by trying it for ourselves, we were able to get a real understanding of the role of the wings. By just changing the shape of the wings a little, you could make them fly in many different
実
ways.
際の飛行機には補助翼などの小さな翼がついている。それらを調節することで機体を操作するんだ。
Actual airplanes have many smaller wings, such as ailerons. That sounds alien. The aircraft is controlled by adjusting them. As she explained, Amane moved to the side of the garage. Then she lovingly laid her hand on the
この
glider.
グライダーにはエンジンはついていない。
This glider doesn't have an
紙
engine.
飛行機を大きく頑丈にしてコックピットを取り付けただけのものなんだ。
It is like a bigger and more robust paper airplane. The only thing is that the only thing that has been added is the cockpit. Cutler and I looked at the paper airplanes in our hands. I imagined riding it and flying through the sky. Well, I wouldn't get very far. This is just like the fantasies I envisioned as a kid. The fighter in front of me was the real thing.
どうだ？作れそうな気がしてきただろ？
How about it? You just felt like you could make one, didn't you? Absolutely no chance in hell. I'd murder the people that gotta ride it. But it doesn't have an engine, how does it fly? Paper airplanes gain thrust by being thrown by
風に乗
people,
って飛ぶんだ。
by riding the wind. Both I and Katori gazed up at the white aircraft. That day we saw this flying from Windmill Hill. Riding the wind, that expression impresses it so perfectly. The way it flew so smoothly and calmly.
風に乗って。
Riding the wind, Amane nods
そ
happily.
して上昇気流に乗ってどこまでも舞い上がる。
Then, by riding rising air currents, you can fly
ど
anywhere.
こまでも？
Anywhere?
雲の上にだって行けるんだぞ。
Yes, you could even go to space.
雲の上？
Above the clouds into space. I'm heading to the moon. Katori looked at the aircraft with an expression of disbelief. I also couldn't imagine that this thing could fly above the clouds. Have you been there? Above the clouds? Well, that's,
だな。
Oh no, she hasn't been there.
組み上がったのがついこの間でようやくテストフライトにこぎつけたんだが。
I only put it together recently, and finally took it out on a test flight.
あの時だ。
It was that time. Ah! Guthrie and I reacted by exchanging glances.
強度が足りなかったみたいで途中で主翼が折れてしまった。
Holy shit. Did you almost die? Huh? So you mean...
危ないところだった。もし完全に折れていたら湖に落ちて死んでいたかもな。
I would have attended your funeral if you had died, and I would have cried the hardest. Ahahaha, she laughed as she spoke.
また作り直さないといけない。私は手先があまり器用じゃないからな。
I have to rebuild them. It's because I'm not so good with my hands. I can let you practice on me.
それと一部のケーキが故障してるのも分かったんだが代わりの部品が手に入らなくて困っている。
Also, I know some of the instruments are broken, but I'm having trouble getting my hands on the
自
parts.
分で作っちゃえばいいんじゃないの？
Why don't you make them yourself? Guthrie said that so easily. At a school where things like this are taught, they have all the equipment you need to make anything, from a screw to an aircraft.
そうもいかなくてな。
That's no good either. Amane, with a troubled look on her face, took some broken parts from a
ダ
drawer.
イヤフラムといって待機速度計に組み込まれている部品なんだが
The diaphragm is one of the parts used to make the airspeed controller.
中品でこれを作った工場がとっくの昔に潰れてしまっているんだ。
This was a special order, and the factory where this was made shut down a long time ago. Carter and I gazed at the parts in the palm of Amane's hands. It certainly looks like it wouldn't be easy to make. If it's the kind of thing that can be made in the town factory, there might be something that can be done about it. Amane's eyes light up as I quietly mumble,
本当か？
Really? Ah, well, I don't know until I ask, but I know someone like that.
頼む。それがないと本当に困るんだ。
Please, if I don't have this, I'll be in a real fix. Okay, I'll try asking next time I see him. Can I borrow
あ
this?
りがとう。君に救われるのはこれで3度目だ。
Well, you know what they say after 3 saves. Mm-hmm. Whoosh! Whoa. Suddenly, she gives me a full-on hug and we're even cheek to cheek. I'll take a hug. I'm extremely happy, but we can do a little better.
ありがとう。
Okay, that's good. Urk, you can thank me once I've actually gotten it.
そういえばそうだったな。でもご飯のお礼も兼ねているんだ。
Oh yes, I guess you're right, but this includes thanks for lunch. Well, I'll make you lunch every day if I get a hug like
だ
that.
からもう一回感謝の気持ちを表させてくれ。
My body is ready. Why am I saying... Why?
そうか？
Exactly. See, now she's upset. Let her hug me. Do you want a hug too? I'll let you hug me. Katori was suddenly glaring at me. I wonder if this will really fly. Katori and I both gazed at the glider with the same look in our
ところで
faces.
君たち、
By the way, you too.
もしグライダーに興味があるのなら、その
If you're interested in gliders, the bell rings, interrupting Amane. Amane flinches in surprise and quickly turns her head back to us. If we're interested, what is it?
いや、いいんだ。忘れてくれ。
No! You can't just do that to me. It's a cliffhanger. Somehow it seems she's avoiding something. Amane? What? Can I come see you again? Okay, we're making the moves. This is good.
あ、もちろんだ。興味があるならいつでも来てくれ。
Yeah, of course. If you're interested, come anytime. I will be here every day. I have to bring her those parts as
君
well.
も
You too.
また見に来てくれ。
Come again. Okay, we have a third wheel, but we both know where this is going, right? As Katori nods, Amane grins as she nods back. She's really beautiful, but her smile somehow makes her look like a little kid. Alright, shall we go back to the classroom? Huh? I started pushing Katori's wheelchair and decided to start walking.
どこ連れて行く気？
I'm taking you with me. You're stuck now. The classroom, of course.
やだ、やめて。私お腹空いてるの。お昼食べてないから。
Oh my god, that face is terrifying. You reap what you sow.
だってもう押さないで。
I said, stop. Hey, don't push me. I brought Katori with me against her wishes and we returned to the classroom.